Hello everybody and welcome back to Crusader Kings, where this is probably the final episode of this particular series. We're about to time out here. I believe it's 1454 that is the end date, and that means we've got about a year and a half here. So I do want to go around and conquer some additional territory down over this way. So first things first, we're going to head up over here. I just want to clean up some of this area, and I'm just going to declare a lot of wars over here. It's going to be a few, and hopefully we are going to have enough time to get this all done. That would be the dream, but we'll see. So we're just going to declare a war on all of these guys out over... Wait, were we truced? We're truced here. Okay, we're not going to declare a war on that one, I guess. But we can declare a war out over here. There we go. So that'll help us clean up this little area over here. And then we could declare on this guy as well, as long as we're over here, right? And that means that I want these two. I'm getting kind of greedy here. But no, I want all de jure lands. There we go. So we can just do something like that. Now, again, the AI is very likely to get somewhat frisky about this. That's okay. I'm thinking about the pathing I want to take through this. I kind of want to start up over here. And we can raise just our men-at-arms, and I'm going to raise a few levy troops. I don't think they're necessary, but I'm going to raise a few of them. And they're going to call in some holy orders. Yeah, that's all fine. They've got allies joining the war. That's not at all surprising. Okay, so I'm going to raise up around like 10,000 levy troops. I'm not looking for a huge number of levy troops here. Just enough to be able to leave siege forces if we decide to do so. So these guys are going to walk in over here, and I'm going to put this guy in charge here. And yeah, we can see that that immediately starts up. That's not surprising at all. I don't even think that's relevant, though. 20 months. The game's going to be over by then. So that shouldn't be a big deal. We did just get a nomadic camp migration, which is not surprising. And we're starting up a slow siege right down over here. What we need now is our men-at-arms to arrive, and here they are. So that looks wonderful. We're going to have them come on down, and then I'm going to drop our rally point here, and we're going to raise the other probably one knight. That's probably all that's here. So we're going to head on down here, and this will, of course, mean that we're going to progress much more quickly on this siege. That's rather speedy. So we're going to walk on down over this way and get this war wrapped up. That is our current mission. There we go. And this war's done. We'll enforce those demands. Now we're going to walk out over this direction, I think. I'm just thinking about the pathing here. I would like to head up over this way. Which, of course, means that this guy shouldn't be here, and instead it should be more like here. So we'll do something like that, and that is fine. So our forces are going to head up over this way, and we're going to push down here, and then we're going to loop around and come over this way, cleaning this all up, and then head down over here is the idea. So that's the overall concept, and we will see how that ends up going. We've got a lot of wars here, and we, of course, need to end them eventually. And that is the dream at this moment. We've got 20 months, which is quite a lot of time, and I'm really not very concerned about that. But, of course, we've got less time in terms of the actual game, right? So that's understood. I like to play this out, even though I know that the end is coming. I like to play this out as if I don't know that the end is coming. So that's exactly what I'm doing here. Apparently, there's another knight here. Interesting. Okay, well, this council position is empty, and we're going to put in this guy. He is skill 33. That's a very good skill, to be clear. Okay, so that's all fine. Is this... Oh, it's 1453! Wow. Okay, I thought it was 1454. Well, that's very, very awkward. That is incredibly, incredibly awkward. I regret everything at this moment. I should have just put 4 more minutes into the last episode. I had no idea that we had 6 months left. Okay, I thought we had a year and a half. So at this point, of course, this is the end of the game, and I can't move this window or anything like that. So I guess we can just kind of peer at our empire around the edge. Oh, I can move it. Okay, that's exciting. So we can move the window out over here, and we can look a bit at our empire, and we can see we were definitely in the process of putting it back together. We never had the most, like, solid empire up here in the north, right? This down here was always very good, and we never really had too many problems out over here either. I would have liked to join this together by taking over Allen. We unfortunately just never had an opportunity to do that, and conquering all of these hordes up over this way was definitely on the to-do list. I mean, we were actively working on that when the game ended. So yeah, I mean, overall, what is my impression? Like, what is my takeaway from this particular series? Well, things went pretty well for us. At the beginning, we played very slowly and we built very tall, and then we expanded extremely rapidly. And when that happens, we know that things have a tendency to fall apart when the ruler dies. And that's exactly what happened. We lost a lot of territory up this direction, and we've been slowly conquering it back. We had a lot of de jure up this way, which was very useful for us. But we managed to expand over here into Tibet, and that was very good. And I was really hoping to come down over here eventually. It just never happened. Out of curiosity, oh, I can't right-click on this guy? That's unfortunate. We could modify the end date in the game files and continue playing. I think there is a save game that the game automatically makes here, but I don't think there's really all that much point to do it. What would I even do? I'd conquer up here a little bit in this episode, and then that would be it, right? That would be all that would happen, and we know how this is going to play out. We know that we're just going to move from position to position here. They can't stop us. We take this position, then we come here, 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 and then we come down over this way, and we wrap up all the wars. If there are any rebellions that pop, we would be able to throw ridiculous numbers of mercenaries at it, because our income is insane. We'd be able to throw holy orders at it, a holy order, just the one, and we've got another, like, 75,000 troops that we can throw at it, too. So we were in a good, secure position here, and overall, I'm pretty happy with it. The main takeaway is that the nomadic oh wow, we could have expanded these a little bit, specifically our pikemen. Okay. The main takeaway here is that the nomadic rebellions, specifically these guys, the bug on that was actually pretty painful. That cost us a lot of time, and we could have gotten a lot further without this bug. The bug where it just replaces the leader and then they instantly pop. That's definitely a bug. There were some other things in there, like the nomadic migrations, that cost us a lot of time as well. I'm not sure if we even care about those wars, to be honest. Like, I kind of wonder what happens if we would have chosen to lose them. I don't know. It'd be very interesting, for sure. Regardless, at this point, I guess this is just going to be a short episode, and I apologize for that. I didn't intend for this to be a short episode. I really thought the end date was in 1454. I really, really did. Well, alas, that is not the case. So, obviously, this is an old version of the game right now that we're on. If we go in here, we can... Oh, we can't even go into the normal pause menu because the game is over. Okay. Yeah. We were able to escape out of this window, though. Or no, we weren't. It's right here. I just moved it down there. Okay, yeah. So as I was saying, we're on an old version of the game. This is 1.17.1, I think, and the current version of the game is newer than this. There's been an expansion to the map that expands out and includes Asia out over here, and that's definitely very interesting. That is going to be something that we're going to explore in the next Crusader Kings series. The only question that I have now is, do we want to dive into that right away in the next episode? Well, here's one thing that we can do. This game is over, right? So we can exit this game, and we can just hop back to the main menu here. And at the main menu, we can see, yeah, 1.17.1. But what I can do now is I can go update the game and relaunch it in the new version, and we can at least take a look at what the new map looks like. I've never looked at that. So that's something we can do for a little bit of time here. Let me get that done, and I will be right back. Okay, so here we are in the very latest version of the game, 1.18.1. Fantastic. So all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to hop into a new game. We're not going to actually start one. I just want to take a look at what the map expansion looks like. So let's hop in here, and welcome to Crusader Kings 3. Yes, I know how Crusader Kings 3 works. I'm not new to the world of Crusader Kings. Get out of here. So I want to look at what it looks like in the various time periods. So this is the 867 start date here, and let's go ahead and go into here. We need to generate the world from history because I want to take a look at what the overall world looks like in each of the three start dates at this point. So 867 is the start date that I generally prefer to play with because I like long games, but oh my, that is basically a 50% increase in the map size. Not quite. The map cut off about here previously. That's like a 30% increase. It's still sizable. No doubt about that. So this is what it looks like in 867. Interesting. We can immediately see that there is this very large Tang out over here, and I'm usually not that interested in playing as big countries, but I'm definitely eyeing up some of these areas down here. Like, honestly, a Borneo start might be interesting. Oh, wow. Look at how independent everything is out over here. That's pretty wild. Very fractured down in this area. That's a lot of potential good expansion down there. I like it. And then, of course, there's Japan up here, which is not quite so fractured in this time period. And there's all of this up over here, which is also pretty fractured, but this is very interesting. No doubt about that. Okay, I want to check out some of these other start dates. So let's hop back to the main menu. And let's do another new game, and this is the 1066 start date. So let's see what we've got here, and how this is different over in the new regions. So in 1066, I'm expecting, at least in Europe, a little bit more consolidation, but let's see what it looks like over in Asia. This will be interesting. As soon as it loads, anyway. Okay, so here we go, and that's a lot of Seljuks. Okay, noted. And down this direction, we see China is a little differently shaped and differently named. We've still got Fujiwara up over here. Japan is almost exactly the same. And this up over here is very, very similar as well. Actually, all of this is extremely similar out over here in those start dates. So this out over here, this is a kingdom tier realm, right? So we can see that that's the kingdom realm there. So I think this was all duchies previously, or counties, but down over here, there's definitely still a lot of independent realms. No doubt about that. Very interesting. Okay, let's take a quick peek at the third start date, and I'm expecting even more consolidation in that third start date. So this is going to be in 1178, and let's go ahead and just take a look at the map. Like I said, this is my very first time looking at the map out here in the map expansion. I've not started up the game in this version since this patch came out, so we've been busily playing our old version, right? So we just finished that, so I want to take a look at this. What do we got here? Okay, that's different. That is very different. So we've got Wanyan up here, and that's big. And that's cut a lot into song. I believe this is this a, like, Mongol descendant? I'm not entirely sure. But I'm guessing they are. Just based on what I'm seeing here. Jurchen and Iron Cavalry, they can get, like, cataphract archers. I'm guessing this is a descendant of the Mongol Empire. This is wait, this is 1178, so this is maybe a predecessor? Yeah, probably a predecessor of the Mongol Empire, because this is 1178. We got to keep that in mind. So out over here, we're seeing that Angkor has expanded somewhat. No doubt about that. And it's slightly more consolidated out over this way, but really still very fractured out here. Interesting. Very, very interesting. And Japan is almost the same, but it got a new name, so that's cool. So overall, yeah, there's definitely some opportunities to play out here. The map expansion is very interesting. I wonder how this will impact the game's performance, because it might. There's a fair amount of additional things to process here. No doubt about it. But sure, that's very interesting. We will definitely be thinking about playing maybe out here in Borneo in the next series. I'm very interested in something like that. We could also even go a little further. We could go Philippines. We could go Taiwan. These are all interesting starts to me. Out over here would be very interesting. Even over here would be interesting to me. Maybe a little less interested in this region over here right now, just because of the consolidation over here. I like to start in like early start dates in locations that are pretty fractured, where we can put together our own empire relatively quickly and then expand out from there. I know that's not how I played this latest game, but that's how I generally like to go. Now, one thing that I'm curious about: have they adjusted wind furnaces? I'm going to start as this guy. We're not actually going to play anything here, but wind furnaces are kind of broken, and we'd have a lot of coastline out over this way if we were to play here, right? So this is tribal holdings at this moment. Oh, okay. This is a feudal realm over here. So let's go ahead and switch character over to this guy, and this is what I'm interested in checking. So this is a feudal realm, and I'd like to switch this. So what do we got here? No wind furnaces here. Are wind furnaces unique to the culture that we were in previously? I'm going to swap over to this guy real quick. This is the area that we were in. And if that's the case, then yeah, wind furnaces exist here. So that's fascinating. I'm not sure what the requirements are for wind furnaces then. I'll have to look that up, because wind furnaces are just broken with how strong they are, quite frankly. I know that it's not, you know, that much stronger than some of the others, but when you combine it together with a properly set up men-at-arms force, the stats just get absurd with this extra 90%. So it's something to think about, but if it's not available, then that's honestly probably for the best for us. That would make things a little bit more wacky. Oh, I wanted to fully scroll out because I was thinking about this. The table previously was fairly square. It looks like they just had it like mirrored right here and just extended it out a little bit. Okay, sure. Fair enough. I'm just looking at the new setup over here, and if we change, does this change the table decorations? No. Okay. Gotcha. So yeah, that's absolutely fine. Interesting. Very interesting stuff over here. Well, now that we've taken a look at that, I am going to go ahead and put a cut in here. I would say put a cut in. I'm not going to do that because this is the end of the series, and we are going to be looking into running a new Crusader Kings series soon. I'm not committing to running it directly after this series. I will make that decision tomorrow, and we will see. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this somewhat anticlimactic video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, Spock, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.